We'll take what we get and we'll look at some of the numbers and see what we end up with. This text file over here, this was all loading USA data, so we might load that again at some point. But now we want to load UK data. And I'm probably going to want the same libraries here to do that. The files that I have are all these Excel files, and they're a mess. That's all I really need to say. They contain a whole lot of information that doesn't exist. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Right. Excess death. They contain a whole lot of information, and they're stored in columns. The information I want, rather than rows. So it's just this. This is sort of like a final report that someone has produced, or that some system has produced. I'm mainly interested in total deaths, all ages. This. I do appreciate they have just like the total deaths average of corresponding week in the previous 5 years. Just you get to know that automatically. I'm going to end up computing that anyway, since I have this data. But this is a good way to just know, oh, okay, so we get to see, about how many people in England and Wales tend to die in this week of a given year. But there's too many columns. And look at all this. All these little things, average based on the actual number of death registrations for each corresponding week. Movable public holidays when register offices are closed, affecting the registrations. Oh, so that affects things too. Fewer people die on New Year's, just because the place where you get a death certificate is closed. Interesting. Bunch of T's and C's, bunch of related publications, all this other stuff. We're mainly interested in weekly figures plus the year. So we're going to do a little bit of fooling around here to get the correct columns and rows. Again, I'm just going to be grabbing these. I will probably just be using week number rather than week ended, so-and-so. And it looks like they do the correct thing. This looks like the entire week's worth of information, even though it ended on January 4. So that is good. This is obviously for 2019. I have for 2020 up to date as recently as a week ago, I think. Or maybe even more recent, actually. I didn't explicitly take a look at that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so I just updated this one from when I originally grabbed it back in June. And of course they complain, that's fine. Weekly figures, they got all this COVID specific information. But that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in all this. But how soon does it? So it goes up to about 2 weeks ago. And this actually looks like responsible information. Close to anyway. That's a little low, but probably not that low. These look pretty reasonable, and you can see the UK itself, you can tell right here. 20K compared to 10K typical. Like, obviously, yes, in like April, they were getting the worst hit. They finally started recovering, and it was like the end of May that they finally were mostly recovered. But even then, it was still, 1,000, 10% higher. And just now, in June and in July, it seems like they're finally past it. Compared to the USA, when, well, I doubt that's going to be true at all. And it seems that OBS does not capture that window correctly. I find that strange. OBS is maybe just super broken, or maybe my streaming is broken. Nah, it seems to be fine. Let's take the... Yeah. It's just a little slow. That's okay. So, we got to read in an Adobe Excel file first. That is the annoying part here. I did not want the full LS there, but that's okay. Let's get us some glob stuff as well. Let's import from glob, import glob. Because we're going to want to do this. I don't want to have to just store all these manually. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but let's say files equals glob dot. Hang on. I think that's good enough. And I can say glob, I don't know, pub star. So this is a way in Python. This does like the OS system call, expands this correctly, and gives you back the list that you want. So super convenient. Pub star.xls is probably what I want. Okay. And I just want to grab one of these for now, just to make sure I can futz around with it. This is that file. Okay. Now Pandas has a way to read Excel. It's read Excel, isn't it? Not read XLS. Oh, come on. Lies. Probably I never ran this code. Takes its good time. I swear it was read XLS. No? Read Excel? Read Excel. Okay. Yes. So we're going to read Excel. You have to give it the sheet name you want to read, because otherwise it'll read the first sheet, which is not really not actually what we want, of course. You might recall there were a variety of sheets in there, which is, of course, super frustrating. It's not data that's super easy to read, whereas the US data was like just a CSV file. So just bam, 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 bam. Super convenient. Yeah, I don't really care which one I open. They're all about the same to me anyway. Yeah, I bet this isn't even the same number sheet, but it's going to be called weekly figures something something. What is this file? Okay. So if I say, just for example, p.read Excel f, make sure we keep this open. And we want sheet name equals weekly figures. This is 2017 rather. I want to know what happens. Blow up my face? Oh, come on. I tell you, install this for Excel support. Well, that's a drag. Worst case scenario, I will copy and paste this nonsense into a bunch of text files because there's not that much data. Oh, boy. Sudo pip install, here we go, XLRD. This is nonsense. See if this even works. Really? Really? Of course, right in the middle of the stream, finds out I have to do this. I could have sworn I had Excel support. XLRD needed for pandas. Pandas read Excel XLRD. Yeah, like, is that really required? Low memory equals false. Yeah, okay. So you just got to do this. That's a bit irritating. Successfully installed. Okay. No sheet named. Well, whatever. That's, that's entirely possible. 52, because it's 52 weeks, 2017. What is the sheet named? I don't want to. Are you sure you want? Yes, I don't care. Go away. Oh, it's lowercase f, of course. Of course. Okay, then we get a hot mess. Let's get a quick look at this. Columns are all this horrible, horrible mess. Because we don't really want columns. I want a specific row, as a matter of fact. Can I change it to read rows instead? Skip rows, squeeze, true values, dtype, parse calls, use calls, engine, n rows, parse dates for bows. Maybe there's a way to do this. So rows instead of columns. Yeah, so maybe there's some useful information. But it's a mess. IO, yeah, that's the thing you want to read. No, I don't want to use specific column names. Oh, what a mess. Rows to skip at the beginning. Zero index. No. Okay, well, I want to know total deaths. Somewhere in the first column, there's a total deaths piece of information. So, let's come back here. This is our thing. These are all our columns. It's contents? Yes, it's called contents. I think that's generally going to be true. I hope so. So we pull out that column. Oh boy. And then I want to know, where does it say total deaths, all ages? So let's grab this string exactly. And this should be false except for one. That should be true. There's exactly one. So I want to grab all the columns where that is true. Then you get all this nonsense. And there are apparently 53-ish. Because this starts in C, because apparently there's a B, whatever. We got this thing. Can I get the first row and the last 52 columns? Is that a thing I can do? Nope, not a thing I can do. Okay. Can I say array? Can I turn this into an array? I can. Okay, perfect. That is what we're going to do then. Take that to do that. Now I've got a sweet array. Now I can do the first row in the array. There's only one row, so we don't really care. Of the last 52 columns. And now we actually have those death counts. Whew, what a hot mess. Okay, now we're going to have to generalize this a little bit, but I suspect this will mostly work. Mostly work. A of 0 of last 52. Maybe just 1 to the end, actually. Or 2 to the end. That's really what we want. A of 0, 2 to the end. Yeah, I think that's what we want. And obviously I want to change the data type of this nonsense. Like get an array of this. Yeah, I want to change the data type to int though. So let me just call this a list on this. It's a little bit messy, but there's not a ton of data, so it doesn't actually matter. And that should now be an integer. Boom, int64. That's fine. I don't really care. So those are our counts by week for that particular file. So one of the things we need to do is extract what the year is from the file name. So, oh geez, this is a mess. Because this 2018 nonsense. All right, I'm gonna fix this. This is dumb. I could, rig up a sweet regular expression for all this, but I decided no. We're going to change 2018 to just say 2018 like a normal file. I don't really care that it's with updated respiratory row. Not relevant. Just not what I care about right now. Hey, now it looks great. So now we'll just go back a certain distance, and it's fixed. I mean, we're making trade-offs on how general this is versus doing some quick fixing. That was one thing we had to fix, so I declared it to be worth it. And I'm not building some kind of operational system here, so it does not really matter. So the year is going to take f. I'm going to need integer, of course. F. And how far back do we need to go? Looks like 7, 8 there. -8 to the end. Yep, okay. -8 to -5 to -4. Excuse me. And then that's the correct year. Cool. And actually, I do want it as an integer, but I'll want to recast it here. Okay, so this should all be hunky-dory. Yep, that's good. Let's say the f equals files of 1. What is that now? Oh, I want to redo my files, because that still had the old 2018 name, which is now this one. Haha. And these are in mostly the same order. That's fine. That's great. This gives me the year. Cool. This gives me some hot mess. Fine. This gives me the things I want. Great. And this gives me all those. Okay, so I think that's working. I want to test this for F in files. I'm not going to save anything just yet. I just want to see if this runs, actually. Because I have a feeling on 2020 something's going to happen. Okay, there we go. Unexpected indent. Oh, right. Auto indent. Turn that off. No sheet named, whatever. Okay, so what's weird about 2015? Something strange about it. 2015. Discard. I don't care about that nonsense. Yes, discarded. Oh, those ones are capped. You freaking kidding me? I tell ya. Ridiculous. Where's my files? I bet 2014 is the same way. It's like I'm gonna have to just to change the name. Like, no. But I don't want to futz around with that because that might cause other rippling changes to occur. Let me check 2016. When did they start changing it from lowercase to uppercase to lowercase? And why? Why would you do this? 2016 is lowercase. Okay, so just 2014, 2015. So if y less than equal 2015, sheet name equals, we'll fix this up a little bit. Right there. It's going to be capitalized. Else, the sheet name will be lowercase. And I'll just pass it in. Let's see if that works. Okay, that actually ran. That surprises me. That very much surprises me. Files of... Wait, why is 2020 not in this list? What happened here? That's odd. Where are we? Oh, it's XLSA. Son of a gun. Do this. There we go. Okay. Different file format. Grab that file, and then I just want to see if this works. No sheet named Weekly Figures 2016. Guess what? That's not the name of the sheet, pal. F. Ah, son of a gun. That is a good point. My thing no longer works. Because Y is some... This doesn't work anymore. Yep. Alright, new solution. I will move the 2014 guys, 2014, 2015, to say 52 2014.xls. And I'll move to 2015. Again, I'm hand jamming some of this stuff. That's okay in this particular instance. It's okay because I'm declaring it to be okay. Get some new files. We no longer want to work from the back. We want to work from the start. So what is F? So I don't know, say F of what is 20 to the end. Too many. 16. All right, 15 to 20 to 19. Okay, so that's the ones we want. Could I have counted? Yes. Would it have been just as fast? Maybe not. Sometimes trial and error is super fast. All right, there we go. Let's see if that works. Should not take so long. Okay. And no. That's to be expected. That's fine. I fully support this. That those columns exist, but there's nothing in there because that time hasn't happened yet, or we don't have that data yet. I think that's super good. All right. Once we get this data, I would like to use it the same way. Like I have this plot state nonsense, which is not exactly the same thing. but it is pretty similar, and we're going to extract some of the information the same way. For example, I could just make a state that is England and Wales. And, finally, the American dream of conquering England and Wales can come true. Because we have data going back the same amount of time, question mark? I forget how far back. Yes, going back 2014. That's exactly why I got that information. Perfect. And our weeks, I think, end on the same day. If they don't, I don't care. They're close enough. I would just need to get some population and some other stuff and fix that up. So actually now I'm curious. Data 2014, data 2019. What is all this nonsense? I was just getting particular. I'm not even, I'm looking at this. I don't remember what I was doing at all. Because I had data up through 2018. I had data up through 2020. That's what this nonsense was about. But of course, we need to make a couple changes here. NY death. So this is just all the data. This, whatever all death, refers to all of this data. Oh, yeah, and this is England and Wales combined. Which, finding population numbers for both of those combined is gonna be annoying. But we'll get there. We'll find a way. Let me see. I had one big array, just going in order from beginning to end. Okay, interesting. That is indeed interesting to me. So, that's kind of what I want here, right? I don't really care about any of this other nonsense. I just want to get this thing at the end. Okay. Ing Wales. Death. Let's make this an empty list first. And I want to say Ing Wales death.append C. I want C dot not nan or something. Is nan that a thing? Is there a numpy? There's numpy that is finite, right? Is finite. Not infinitely or not a number. Of course. Is finite. The result is turned to Boolean array, yada 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 yada. C also is positive, is nan. Yeah, okay. There's probably some super smart way to extract the data. What we're gonna do is just say C of numpy dot is finite. C. So we're gonna throw out all his nans at the end. But that should be the only problem we have. And then we'll say Ing Wales death equals numpy dot concatenate Ing Wales death. Let's grab all those guys. 1 second here. Okay, that should be perfect. That'll give us all the death data we want. We are not going in order though. This is a problem. Yeah, that's all the years are jumbled up. All right, I think I actually do just want a list of the files now. Yeah, the pub was a good idea, but because of their various oddities, I think I do just want a listing of the files. Just do it manually like this. Oh, actually, I can be even better. Because these are all just one up. But 1, 2, 3, 2019, just like the others. And 2020 is a little bit different. Oh, that's perfect. Love that. Nice little feature of Vim, you can increment numbers. I often forget about it because I used to use Control-A, which is the command for that, to control my tmux, but I don't do that anymore. I use Control-Z now. Okay, so now I have my files in order. Oh boy, no such file directory. Publish week, because it's not 52, duh. It's 27? Like things I should just... 27, yes. Oh, and it's not 2014 or 2015 either. No, it is. I fixed that, didn't I? Yes, it did. Okay. Fix that. Publish XLSX, of course. All these little things that you encounter with your data. Like, what's wrong with my data? Well, there's a lot. There we go. Ing Wales death. Cool. Plot. England, Wales, death. And you can see the same kind of... There are a lot of jumps in this graph. This is strange. Is that like the end of the year? I think this is maybe that holiday problem. Like biting us here. Even worse. Week 50, yeah, Christmas. Far fewer deaths. I mean, there's not zero though. All right, and then you know, all these nice little spikes, and then hey, you know, coronavirus, saying hello. Okay, that is what it is. Though we have that key data. What we need now is the population of England and Wales over time. Population England and Wales, perfect. I know the population of the UK, but I need specific. Oh, perfect. From this. Oh, geez. From the same Office of National Statistics. Oh boy. UK mid 2019. I'll take a look at this. How messy is this? It's the latest release. Sure. Sure. Do you not have period of... Whoa, what is this? Annual population change. What is this? UK population continues to grow in mid-2019, but at a slower rate than in a year, yada, 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 yada. Download this chart. Is this just by year? Hang on. I want to see now. What is this? Oh, jeez. This is just the population growth, not the population itself? Correct. Useless. I don't care about this nonsense. I just want to know the overall net population. Annual population change? No. Oh boy. Trying to show me all these complicated statistics. And not even that complicated. I just want the raw numbers. Not growth, not change. Population estimates data? Data set released. Okay, yes, maybe that's what I want. Is this going to take me back to the same dang thing? Locality, authority, district codes? What? Estimates of the population for blah, 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 blah. Mid-20... What is this? Detailed time series. That might actually be super useful. Yeah, sure, let's take a look. Grab that. It's going to take 25 megabytes, I tell you. Thankfully, we live in the future, and 25 megabytes takes almost no time to download. That's glorious. I remember dial-up, and it was nasty. It was a nasty, nasty time. I'm so glad no one has to deal with that anymore. What is this? You told me this is 2001 through 2019. What's going on here, pal? Oh, England and Wales, though. Oh, glorious. What is this? Let's take a look. Yeah, sure, whatever. This is somewhat concerning. It's taking this long to load a simple text file. Really should not. I mean, you gotta unzip it, I guess. But still. Okay. What are we looking at? The population of all of these, like, weird census designated places in every year. Okay. I don't care about births. This only goes up through 2019. That's fine. And these are all places in England, E, or Wales, W. I'm not going to pronounce any of these. Nope, not going to happen. That's, okay, so we can take a sum. Is there a total somewhere? No. Is there a total maybe in between the E and the W? No. Okay. That's an impressive level of detail, though. And I got the, wait, oh, for every age bracket, for every sex. That's an impressive breakdown that technically has the information I want. Just a little bit more goofy than I really wanted. Alright, but we can, you know what? We'll do it. I'll work with this. We'll just use this. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So we got that. Let me go back to my downloads. Move from my downloads. What the heck is it called? MY. I don't remember. UK detailed. Sure. That's probably gonna. UK detailed. Proj less excess death. Let's move that in there. No, not going to TechMF. Nice try though. Let's just unzip this whole thing here. There we go. Perfect. And then I don't need the old zip around anymore. I can always get that again. Where is this? Oh gosh, they're like quoted strings? What a mess. Like, what is GOG20 on here? How are these different? This one's actually slightly larger. I do want to know. Son of a piece of junk. I tell you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. EW. Got the same names. It's even got some of the same values, doesn't it? 548, 548. Hang on. Nope. Not interested in that. It was Geo 2020? Nope. Maybe just Geo 20? Nope. The heck is it called? Geog 2020. It is, oh, for fracking. It's got a slightly different name. Of course. Of course. Fine. Fine, 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 fine. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. Let me do this here. Grab it this way. Oh, it's MYEB 1 instead of 2. What is the difference here? I can open them both. Oh, but Alright, I need to clearly get a better understanding of this data. Why do people put complicated data in these ways? It's not, doesn't need to be this difficult. Whales. Like, was it in here that it had the information? That's gone, right, of course. Because I got rid of that. Okay, but I got this PDF. Let's take a look and see if we can learn what the heck this is about. Oh, it's a little big. Data sets, blah, blah, blah. April 2020, changes were made to administrative geography of the UK. Oh. Components changes it produced twice. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you use. Just pick one. Great. Sounds good. So EW pop. We are just going to do a whole bunch of reading. We have to read this in an insane way, though. It's like, I want the transpose of this. Really. Read CSV. Oh gosh, what is this file called? Right, it had some horrible, horrible name. Yes, let's go with the new naming scheme. Except I'm going to create a link to this because I don't want to think about it. There we go. Make my life simple. Do this ewpop.csv. Okay. And then that means we got this nonsense, which is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Can I sum down like every column? Or almost every column? Let's find out. I mean, really, I want to sum down any column that starts population. Okay. Let's see if that's a thing we can do in pandas. Pandas, some, not across, some multiple columns. I mean, that's sort of what I want. Not really, though. Some specific columns. There we go. Some data frame rows for given specific columns. Yes, yes, yes. He's got this nonsense. Obviously, he wants to do A, B, and D, but not C. Yes. You can just sum and set param axis equals 1 to sum the rows. This will ignore non-numeric columns. Oh, really? I didn't know that. EW pop.sum axis equals 1. What does it do? What does it give me? Axis equals 0, maybe? The thing I wanted? I'm starting to think maybe that's not the thing that I wanted. Whoa. Axis sum equals 1. No, that's the wrong way, buddy. Alright, so axis equals 0. I should get 1 row of however many things. 214. Great. Special change. Population. Whoa, what is this nonsense? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Like, is it not using the header row here? EW pop.head. Hartlepool, no, it's got the header row correctly, okay. It's just giving me back the 214 odd columns. What a mess. What a mess, England and Wales. Both of you. Both of you, what a mess. Alright, but EW pop dot sum axis equals 0. I'm gonna say this raw. So Wales pop is raw. EW pop like that. And I'm actually gonna futz around a little bit more, but I want to be able to just work with that. So I want this, can I say this dot columns? Is that a thing that exists? Has no attribute columns. Okay. Does it have indices? Yeah, that's not what I want. Nope. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, 3 is maybe where it starts. I don't think this is correct. No, I do not think there was only 2.7. Like, oh, hang on. Country, age, sex, population. Yeah. It's counting up some ages and other nonsense. Okay, hang on. 0, this is all the codes. That's a code, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is the first one we want of interest. 4 looks like garbage. 5 looks approximately correct. Yes, but 52 million people in 2001. That sounds about right. That's missing out people in Scotland and Northern Ireland, but we have the bulk of the population here because this is just England and Wales. So I think that is finally correct. So for 5 through, how many years do we have here? Up through, what do we got? Population 2019. So there's a total of 20 years. Let's not do that. There we go. That's how many we have. Can I get an array of just that and throw out this other hot garbage? Yes. Okay, perfect. D-type object. NumPy dot in64. Perfect. Much better. All right, let's do that. So much of the problem is just cleaning the data to get what you actually want. And there's little things that have to be hard-coded. I don't know that this problem will ever go away because we will never agree on a standard format of data because there will never be a standard format. Every data set is needed for something different. So we'll always have to futz around with this. If you can make a machine learning system that can try to reformat your data, that would be very impressive. I'd be highly surprised that it would work, frankly. And most of this is one-time work anyway, so... Okay, cool. And then EW pop years equals number of day range 2001 up through, but not including 2020, step by one. EW pop years. Cool. And we might have to futz around with this. These are actually plus 0.5. They were taken in the middle of the year. EW pop years. Groovy. Okay, so now we ought to be able to look at the rates. And so we've got this. No, what I need to do actually is do the interpolation stuff that I did before. All this stuff. So what I actually want to do is update this. And I want to say if the state is not equal to EW for England and Wales, we're gonna do all this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do this stuff. Dunk. Yes, you do that. Otherwise, we are gonna do something special. What are we gonna do? We're gonna grab our EW pop. Right, that's our, no, not our pop. Our EW, England, Wales, death. I'm gonna rename this to like EW death. I can't type that all the time. You know we got time for that. Let me grab this again. Oop. EW death. Perfect. EW, oh, you know what I could have done? Just fixed it here. EW death. Perfect. Cannot be concatenated. Well, what if I redid it? There we go. Much better, much better. So these are deaths, all cause, this various times. In England, however, we are dealing with EW death. I have 2014 through 2020. So, I'll do the terrible thing that I'm doing here. NY death. What do they call it? NY all death. All death equals EW death. Right? That's just the weekly death counts. All this stuff. And then the S to pop, that's what we're going to need to compute here. Let me get some index years. And I have slightly different computations now than I did before. Oh gosh, what is this nonsense? Some of this is actually easier. Interp 1D. Yes, what is S pops? What? Oh, those are all the times that I have, which is EW pop. We fill in this way and we extrapolate this way. Okay, great. Grab these dates. Yeah, we're adding a week, whatever. Maybe we'll skip ahead a week here. In England as well, just to keep everything lined up nice. 2020 through 2021, through the end of 2020, essentially. By 1 week at a time, yes. Hang on. Don't I? Oh, I see what I've done here. Yeah, this is fine. And then should equal f of dates. So this bit doesn't change. So yeah, this is fine. Obviously, it's a different interpolation that I generate in a different way, but it's actually the same. I just create a different interpolation function. That's all. Okay, we're making some good progress. Let's see if we can actually get this to run now. We're going to double check, make sure there's nothing else we're pulling out for this specific data. And of course, we'll want to double check that we're getting sane looking results. But then hopefully we can make this work. I think we generate all this other stuff internally. I believe that's the case. I believe. Let me see. Is there anywhere else I use ST in here? Is that only used at the beginning? Should only be used at the beginning. Is it used somewhere in the name? That'd be fine if it were. New York specific. Well, it's no longer specific to New York in any way. Do I not have a title on here? I could have sworn I did. I could have sworn it. Could have sworn I had a title. Oh well. Not a big deal. Okay. That's plot state now is maybe updated for the United Kingdom. Parts of the United Kingdom. Okay. Let's, oh, this EW pop years. Right. Did I actually use that correctly? EW pop, hang on, no. EW pop versus EW pop years. Right. Let me see. What did we do the correct thing here? 0 deaths. Index of these years, different range, that's fine. Make a different interpolation function, that's fine. Yeah, we make the function, that's the only thing we care about. Okay, this should be okay. I think this might actually work. Let's see. And let's go EW. Okay. EW pop, right? Is normal thing. It's growing. In fact, let's take a look at that just real quick. Probably not as fast as the US. Yeah, about linear. So that's fine. That's all well and good. Let's give it a shot. SI is not defined. Aha, what is SI? Oh, SI is where is that? Sci-fi stuff. Cool. That we can fix. Weak is not defined. That's a good point too. Where's weak? A week is this. Exactly that long. N is not defined. What is N? N equals 6. Average per week before 2020. What? Death by week. How many years I have? Okay, yeah. Right, because I'm doing some statistics here. Oh, do I get those statistics correctly? NY mean death. Hang on. And be death by week, which is done correctly. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Let's try one more time. S-pop is not defined. Aha! Therein lies some difficulty. Right. The length of your estimated population vector. Wait, what? Yeah, there's got to be a better way to compute this. This is how many do I have in the year 2020? That's what this is. Shouldn't I use this to represent this? Oh gosh. But this, hang on. Hang on a second here. Yeah, that goes up through the end of 2020, which is not really what we want. I think what we want instead is to say 2020 plus week times like 27. Or 28 maybe? Let's do that. Let's see what happens there. See if I get destroyed. This is clearly all the dates. Oh, and then I cut it off anyway. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But the length of my estimated population, my population estimates. Shouldn't I really just use this though? NYSPOP? I bet I should. I bet that is a problem. I use it all over the place over here, so. SPOP. Like, what is this? This is my interpol. Yeah, it's already interpolated. I just happen to get lucky. So that was a mistake from last time that we're uncovering now. Okay, got that. Okay, boom. Now we got our data. England and Wales. And in fact, this orange again is the actual 2020. The blue is the previous like 6 years average. The red is our T-stat for how much above have we been. The green is the T-stat for like 2 sigma below. 2 sigma above, 2 sigma below. And so you can see as you enter into week 10, you get a big spike. But they've come down. There's a little bit of a hiccup there. But they're doing okay. I want to see then, what is it? Is it just called US? Like I don't even remember like United States. If I wanted to do the all states. Let me try to grab that. USA, United States, I think. United States. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let's find out here. Nope. Data 2014. Oh, right. Because I gotta define all this other data nonsense. Grab all that stuff. Grab all that stuff. Grab all this other stuff. Grab that just because. Grab this. We're doing some proper statistics. Do that. Okay. Let me bring this back then. Cannot convert the series to class int. Really? That's curious. I think that should not be a problem. I think you're full of it. Let's go up just to see where the problem is here. And I bet it doesn't like one of these for whatever reason. Because it's empty. Well, that's curious. They're all empty. What? Sinfo is entirely empty. Oh, because I probably have the wrong name. States. Could I not do it all US with this? Is that not a thing I had? I have, was it DC? I just don't have all? That blows my mind. No, I could have sworn I had. I guess not. I lost the ability to do overall US. All right. Well then. Let's try New York first. Yeah, okay, then just New York. Just for the giggles. New York. Okay, yes. Now we can see this graph. Where's my other? Get over here. Whoa, disinterval things there. And let's bring back the England and Wales graph. Now these are actually probably going to be relatively similar. You can see England Wales starts about a week earlier. It looks like starts peaking, rising, I should say. The rate here does appear to be higher than in the U.S. Interestingly enough, the overall death rate. That is probably related to like population distribution. I suspect the distribution in England and Wales is older than in the U.S. in general, and that would explain why the average is like twice as high. Just a guess. It also looks more variable, at least in the beginning part of the year. Then it settles down in the summer. What is this dip? And this doesn't exist in US data. Around week, 33? 32? Is this a queen's birthday or something? If you are a UK listener or watcher or viewer, please let me know. Like, same thing here. What is this? This has got to be Christmas? Oh, this has to be like the holidays that they have. Whatever this UK summer holiday is. Maybe Easter? No, it's way too late in the year for Easter. I don't know. Some holiday where they weren't registering deaths, and so it ruins all their data. Bad moves. But you can see this big spike here, big spike here. I mean, this is a doubling of the rate. This is actually not quite a doubling of the rate. So that's interesting. This is an increase in death rate of about, from the like average to the peak. Oh no, that is about a doubling. It's about 17, 18. It goes up to like 36. Yeah. 17 or 18 more. It's only about 12 more, 12 out of 10K. And then in New York, it looks like it's settling down. In the UK, it looks like it's settling down. However, we don't have fully up-to-date data on this. Several US states are extremely behind to the point of where you see it's far below expected values, which is extremely suspicious. Like here, there's 1 week where it's, it's not just barely, but it is below the expected value. And, well, what's happening there? So that's suspicious. But okay, England and Wales, it looks to be about a week ahead. You could plot these things on top of each other if you really wanted to. You could force them to use the same graph, put them in a subplot or something. I'm inclined to not futz with it that much. Doesn't really make that big a difference. But you can put a straight edge up here, and you can see where they line up. But you can just look, okay, week 11, week 12, it starts to rise, whereas here it is week 11, it starts to really rise. 12, and it peaks on week 13. Whereas here, it peaks on week 14, almost a week, exactly a week behind. Whereas, if you plot, can I plot a state on top of this? That's probably a bad idea. If you were to plot some other states, so a state that was hit early, let's say Washington, we'll take a look at that in comparison. And a state that was hit, later, let's take a look at Idaho. I think that was hit in July, probably even late June. Okay, now we got all these things together. And we see Idaho during this period, actually looks pretty good. It's, elevated, but not super high. Very, very spiky. In general, Washington, very early. Their peak, grab this, line this up here. No, their peak was also, week 12 to 13, so about in line with the UK, and it doesn't look as bad here, believe it or not. This is surprising. Maybe they got it under control rather quickly. Or maybe it's like a different strain is also a possibility. Idaho looks like they're, in terms of death rate, it just spikes. Doesn't look like the end of the universe. It's bad. Obviously, if you aggregate it over all these, this is highly unexpected. If these were independent, they're not independent though, of course. And this data is a lot. These error bars much wider than you expect anyway. So it's like, oh, this is much lower. Yeah, but it's within the error bar. It's not that exciting. This is just above the error bar. Interesting. That's above it. That's also interesting. New York. This is just a lot more deaths to count, so it's smoothed out a little bit better. I find interesting that the death rates are not super different. Like 60. I don't know. That's 50% higher. The average over the previous years. Like this is closer to the UK, right? Interesting. Same in Washington, actually. Maybe it's a little bit lower than Idaho. And it makes a difference, the season more. Okay. Anyway, that is some interesting stuff that we have here. Next week, I might look some more at this. I might get the latest U.S. data and just to see, since, hey, we're getting into July here, and then you're going to see these numbers jump back up. It's particularly in states like Idaho that previously seemed to have things under control, decided to reopen. It turns out, hey, those lockdown measures made a difference. They were the thing making the most difference, and suddenly you have huge spikes, all like these other places. All right, that is all I have for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget, stay safe in the data mines.